How are you today? Welcome to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. And yeah, kind of, you can feel a different vibe. We really can feel it in our world these days. If you're popping in for the first time, please introduce yourself in chat. Let us know where you're joining us from, and let us know one or more ways that we can help you in between our impossible lives. And also, if you're joining us for the first time, I'm a virtual toast girl. Today, those of you who usually see me with vitamin water or coconut water or iced coffee, today I'm toasting to you wherever you are with a little bit of seltzer. Needed something sparkly. It's a little early in our time zone to be having something heavier with sparkles. And yes, Mel is a champagne girl. Our world's getting a little bit more complex day by day. If you're joining me back and we're welcoming you back to Impossible Live. Sometimes we got a different beat and a different rhythm to our sessions, whether it's just you and I, live or on replays, or whether we have an amazing, wonderful guest joining us. But one of the things I wanted to just share with you either way is this virtual toast is for you with a hope, a faith that someday soon we wake up kind of in a lighter, brighter world where we all can thrive and flourish. In the process of preparing for today, you'll find that some of our upcoming lives are based on what you're going to laugh musical selections. Because I think I've done a horrible job in the past of really saying when we're tapping into something different, we're tapping into something intangible. We're tapping into something that can't always be seen. Hi, Dave. Hi, Tiana. Ooh, PQ. Coach is in the house. And hello, whether you're joining us live or replay on LinkedIn or on Facebook or later on YouTube. But it really is about the vibes. And I appreciate Dave and Tiana here and you just joining us because there's so much happening. It's really complex. It's hard for us to sort through. It's hard for us sometimes to find the energy to figure out how we want to show up. And thank you, David and Tiana, both for sharing cheers. We're not sure how we want to show up. We're not sure if we should show up. Sometimes we're not sure of the why we should show up. And that's the part that in the past I did a really horrible job of explaining to people. It's the intangible. It's what we can't see. It's what we can't describe. It's sometimes what we're not sure of the language to express it, the words, the way, the timing, if it's right for somebody else. And I really appreciate you and our Impossible Live vibes for reminding me to show up more. I was really reminded last week during a transformational week. Tiana and Sandra and Bill Carmody and a gentleman, Michael, from cohort 15. If you're a positive intelligence person who had, oof, what an honor to be in your PQ belonging presentation on Friday. And for those of us who aren't sure where we find the energy, PQ helped me find it. Raymond, ooh, lots of PQ in the house. And PQ diversity, equity, including belonging, community of practice members. But I appreciate you and your energy because sometimes we run out of steam. We're not sure if we should show up. And it doesn't appear to be, but I'm an introvert. I'm a trained ambivert, but I'd rather chill out sometimes in a corner and just pass someone else the mic and listen and learn. And one of the things that I'd love to share with you today is that We're in a world that's so complex, and we're not sure how to start these conversations. We're not sure where to begin. And I want to thank you for some inspiration. So, my inspiration today, besides this title, is from a Kirk Franklin remix of the Jacksons' Can You Feel It? I'll share a link in the comments. It's a vibe song, and I really was listening to it in the background to remind myself, hey, show up, be fully present, be aware. And yeah, this is after some PQ reps to increase the awareness. But I'd love today in our conversation of trying to figure out the intangible and how we can share it in a way to hopefully brighten our fragile world, as I call it, which in January, some people said to me, what in the world do you mean, fragile world? And it reminded me of the need for other conversations. So today, I'd love to talk to you maybe about 3 steps with all full transparency. These are Mel hashtags. And they kind of helped me in the process of can you feel it? And I'd love to just share it with you and invite you to hang out with us and share your comments and maybe share it with somebody else who can use a lift, because there's so much heavy stuff happening right now, whether it's on the news, whether it's in the family, whether it's in the world. My immediate family has a COVID health scare days before Thanksgiving. As my Nana would say, I'm praying and keeping on moving and knowing that we've done the best we can to keep them safe. So at that time, I want to wish you also stay safe, stay well, and stay inspired. The 3 steps that I'd love to talk to you about, and probably let's think of them from, everybody would do these differently. And we kind of would show up differently. We all do. We speak different languages. Hey, Cheryl, we we speak different languages. We have different styles. We have different cultures, different voices, different stories. And we're not really sure, A, that we belong, but B, that they're important to others. And in professional settings, we worry, as Wesleyan said in a fabulous post last week. She talked about oversharing. And when you do that in leadership or in daily life, can't always walk it back. So I appreciate the lens of positive intelligence from the vulnerability and the transparency. And these aren't things that people who knew me before the pandemic would necessarily say were evident. So the 3 steps that I'd love to talk to you about are make space to emerge. And this is just, think of make space to emerge. If we were saying these 3 steps are get ready, get set, go. Think of make space to emerge as a get ready step. Got to do some clearing, got to do some tuning in, have to find the timing, the space, the grace, sometimes the support to take this first step. And it's not always easy. Some of us aren't blessed with the most supportive friends, families, or extended families. As someone in the PQ community reminded me this weekend, it's about trying to tap into someone who you like, maybe who you know, and who you trust or you'd like to trust. So if we think behind the make space to emerge, if you broke it down in a way that hopefully we could do it again, these are some sub steps that may be steps for you and make space to emerge. The breathing to kind of center, really be aware. The smile in the sense of, have to have the hope, because sometimes when we're doing this heavy work or heavy lifting, we may not feel like we're smiling later. The rinse in a sense of some sort of water to cleanse, to inspire. The release, the tension, the stress sometimes without the trauma, and the revitalize, something that backs up our spine kind of to strengthen us so we have the energy to kind of keep going. The cultivate part in we may need a team of people to help us make space to emerge or clear the deck or just get ready. And the repeat part, because may take multiple times. It may not work the first time. It may take repeated times to make space. It may not work the first time. May not work in some cases. It may not work at all. We may not have the support. There may be boundaries. There may be constraints. Ah, maybe wasn't a good time for somebody to support us or to actively listen. So the make space to emerge might take some time. The next part I talk about is the ignite trust. There's got to be something. My Nana would say, pray and keep on moving. Um, a spiritual coach reminded me last week, and Ilya Francis reminded me after Yvette Bethel helped me get certified in trust to line up behind ways to ignite trust. Not always easy, can't always light that up. Not really sure of the timing, may need more help, more skills. Good example is I'm thinking of something really big, hairy, audacious goal and dream for 2024. And I talked to a wonderful dear friend who's also a positive intelligence coach about a retreat idea I have for a live retreat. I know I need help. And I know in the process, it'll be easy to maybe run out of the fuel or the inspiration. And a big part of this is tap back into that awareness part because we have to keep changing our view. My words of this year were kaleidoscope, which is a word from our positive intelligence pod last year, to keep the view as close to 360 or possible, to be surrounded by people who are, uh, my sister from another mother is here. From the PQ pod. She says it will happen. Bless you, sis. And I think the Yvette helped me with the activeness behind Ignite Trust. When Yvette taught me about trust styles and helped me redefine what is trust and explore it in conversations about trust opportunities, it helped me dig down to the trust shadows and the trust barriers that I had. And it's one of the reasons why I keep offering now to help people build trust toolkits. It is an active process within ourselves to kind of tap in, and with the teams we work in the different cultures. If there are leaders who are really willing to not just explore inclusivity, but help their teams wake it up so that it's a fully present part of their culture, so that every stakeholder feels like it, every volunteer feels like it, every client feels like it. And I appreciate you, Tiana, because it's a reminder it really is active, but it only works if we're really interested. And when we are, there are circles of trust we can do with large teams, with smaller teams. And I appreciate having had a team that I could test this with. In the process, it taught me that there were some team members who weren't meant to continue and hang out with us on the ride. And sometimes that's the risk of exploring. Can you feel it? Of making space to emerge. It may mean that we're upgrading our networks. We're realigning them. We're determining there's some people who they don't feel it. They're not interested. It isn't for them. So accepting that is a big part of it. It really leads as a third step. So make space to emerge was the get ready. Ignite trust is the get set. And elevate our blend is the go. In positive intelligence, we would call this looking for the gift, for the power of knowledge, for the power of inspiration, for the power of learning. What is it together that we can kind of mix together to kind of create a path to change, to kind of create situations where we're really comfortable sitting down and listening to each other, whether it's hard conversations in workplaces, at home, uh, with allies, with people we never thought we would have the conversation with. If you had asked me a year ago, would I be talking about this today? My answer would have been no. I knew how to make space to emerge, but I hadn't met Yvette and started working with her to learn the Ignite Trust, which now has become a mission, a Mel mission. There's a coaching mission behind it. There's a brand mission that's about to come out under Be Visible Solutions behind this. Because if we don't help each other tap into the get ready, the get set, and the go, we're not going to make this a lighter, brighter world for ours or future generations. I was a workaholic, so I am not the parent. I am the auntie. I'm the godmother. I'm the person who smiles at every parent who I see because y'all are doing the hard, hard work. And as someone reminded me last week, I'm part of what they're now calling a sandwich generation. I'd never heard this term. Sandwich generation meant our generation is trying to help my parents age in place. And in that process, we're part of a sandwich, a deep conversation that I had with dear friends yesterday during a mini mastermind I run called We Rise and Soar. We're meeting on Sundays now. It's the space across time zones that's aligning for us. And we're doing the 3 steps together, the get ready, the get set, the go. We're doing the make space to emerge. We're doing the ignite trust. We're doing the elevate your blend. It's not always easy. It's not always simple. Yesterday we did it, and some of us reached for tissues afterwards. There was a lot going on. So in this process of can you feel it? And I went Kirk Franklin style because I'm the music girl. Music is one of the things that inspires me. It brings me to full attention, just like water, just like my naps, just like detox foot baths. I miss them. There are certain things that kind of bring us to center. They help us tap into our core. We don't always have the time and the space and the grace. We don't always have the privacy. In some cases, we don't feel we have the permission. And in other cases, we don't feel we have the support. But if we can slow it down a little, to make space to emerge, to ignite trust, to elevate your blend so that our blend is a master blend and the world's a better place for others to live, thrive, approach, dream of being fully present and living their best lives. I was reminded because of an amazing post yesterday by Therese Lang. I want to thank you, Therese. And Therese is going to join us as a guest in a couple of weeks to teach us how to tune into our sound rainbows to achieve inner calm. Looking forward to that. Therese had a post up with a plea for peace. And in this transformative space that I've been in for a while, it really helped me tap into an old mission, the one before Ignite Trust. It was the hashtag Peace Matters, the number 4, and the number Peace Matters for all, the number 2 all. And I realized when Therese posted it, thank goodness it was on a Sunday, might not have seen it the same way during the week. And especially in the holiday week is preparing to cook and travel and all that stuff. But it reminded me to really dust off my rose-colored glasses. I had forgotten to locate them. And that's the reminder as we're connecting for our impossible lives, as we're dreaming of a brighter world, as we're trying to have in safe environments and sacred spaces, hopefully, some of these serious discussions in privacy to give each other space. My post yesterday, some people might have said, hey, she's sharing something she didn't normally share. I had forgotten. I'm grateful and thankful to those who are helping stay fully present to today share Teresa's plea again, to share my hope still under Ignite Trust that one day peace will matter for all and to all. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please keep your comments going, keep the direct messages coming, hop into a call if we haven't had a chance to connect recently. Find somebody you love and hug them real tight today. Ask them to give you a hug too. Warm virtual hugs until we meet and connect again. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, stay in touch, and please take great care. Have a magnificent day filled with opportunities and with possibilities.